the 16th of September 2020. It's almost 3 p.m. We've got about 6 minutes until we've got power hour on the stocks. So I'd like to spend the next, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes talking to you guys a little bit about Bitcoin. We've got some pretty interesting things happening here. And before I get into any of it, as you all know, this is not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. You are responsible for your own trades, managing your own risk, doing your own research, and I'm just giving my opinion on the market. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the charts. So I'm going to find a good clean chart here because, yeah, I'd really like to have a clean view on what things what's kind of going on the market here today. It's really pretty interesting. What I can see is, we've got, a special trend line here that I don't really disclose too much about. It looks like we're going to be closing above it. Historically speaking, when this happens, and I hate to be cryptic and vague about this, but typically after you've got a pretty significant move up and then you've got a pullback, you close below it, and then you have a close up above it. You usually have a move higher. The same thing happened here. We finally closed above it and then we saw a move higher. Doesn't always happen the first time. We can see right here we closed above it and then we closed below it. But the next time we closed above it and we shot up. So we've got some pretty interesting things here. Something that I'm kind of concerned about is this right here. Right there. The fact that, and I'm actually going to pull this over, so apologies for that. Pull this over. We hit the 1618. So typically when that happens, it doesn't always have to be this way. Hey Wayne, how you doing? It doesn't have to be this way, but typically when you have a kind of a push, a pullback, and then another push, if it goes down 161.8%, the length of that first push down, that usually means that there's another, like a third move to go down from there. We really haven't seen that. So, I'm kind of skeptical. We've been talking here. I'm going to actually go to maybe a 2-hour time frame here just to kind of look at this on a lower time frame. What I really want to see is I want to see us break up above this level right here. Actually, it's the level that we just pushed up against. So let me just put that right there. That's it. Basically 11,110 or maybe just 11,100. Such an odd number. Usually these important levels are like right at 11,000 or right at 11,100, but this seems to be right at 11,110. So we've got support here, support here. We had a little bit of a front run. We fell through, and now we're coming back and we're testing that again. Okay, so is there any significance to this? Any significance to that pullback? Well, let's just take a look. I'm going to use my fib. I'm going to start up here at the top. I'm going to try and tag this as close as I can to the top of this and pull it all the way down here to the bottom and see where we are pulling back to. We've got the 618 right here at 11,150. We've been talking about this. Let me throw the 65 on here. All right, let me just throw the 65 on here. We'll go ahead and I don't have it set in here. Let me just throw this here, 0.65. I'm going to remove some of the other stuff just to kind of clean things up. I don't need the 786, 236, 382. I do want to keep the negative 236 extension on there as the target, but the 65 is sitting right here on this level as well. And this 61.8 is based off of our trend-based fib extension. That's 61.8 right there. And it's actually within 50 cents of each other. So fact of the matter is, this right here should be pretty significant resistance. I'm going to turn this red because this should be resistance. And if you take a look at the Stokes, they're pretty high up there, especially if you're looking at like the 12-hour. I would imagine that the 3-hour, maybe the hourly. We've had a pretty decent price action here recently. This would be a good high probability area for a rejection. Now here we are, we're sitting at just above 11,000, right? We look like we've got the starting of a pivot. It hasn't happened yet, so I'm not going to be too quick to say, oh, well, this is it. What can I see from this move down here at the bottom off the lows, right? Off of down here, I've I've got a nice A, B, C into the A, maybe a B down here. That would be the A there. Then we've got a B down here. Then we move up for our C. That still seems pretty high though, right? Again, let's just take this from the flip side. We're going to have a kind of a messy chart here when we're done, but I think you guys are going to get the idea what message I'm trying to convey. So we start here at the bottom, we work our way up here, and then we do a pullback. And what do we have? We've got a touch here in our zone for wave 3, which is between the 1618 and the 175. We hit that. We had a nice ABC correction. Then we go up here, target to the upside. On a strong day, target to the upside would be about 11.4. But we're still getting ready to hit this resistance here. So we may not make it that far. One way or another, I think we're getting close to being done. I think this move is almost complete. And what that would mean then is we're probably going to take a pivot to the downside, potentially down to 10.6. I'm not so sure that we are going to make it down here, right? We've been talking about levels further down for a while, all the way down to like 93.50. I don't know if we're going to get that low, right? So somebody on the server just talked about, somebody put a tweet out there on big puts being bought in a rush, target around 9,000. The expiry is September 18th. Let's talk about options for a minute. Options don't necessarily mean that the target is down there. And we're talking like 918, right? People are getting $9,000 puts for September 18th. Well, what's going on there? Let's just talk about this for just a second. What's happening there is people are buying puts that are way out of the money, that have a really close expiration, so the probability of those hitting is almost zero. Okay, so basically, what a couple things could happen. One, these people have long positions and they're trying to hedge against a market crash, or two, they just don't know what they're doing, right? Now, while I do recognize the market can crash, those are so far out of the money. This has to chew through so much support. Look at what all this has to chew through. I mean, we are going to find significant support right here at about 10.5. Right there, there's going to be significant support at 10.5. What's our next level of support? It's going to be right here at 10.2. After that, you got to find your way to get down past through 10, right? You got to push yourself through all of these support zones to even get anywhere close to 9,000. My opinion, those puts are not going to print. Those puts are going to expire worthless. And whoever rushed to get a whole bunch of puts for $9,000 on September 18th is probably going to lose. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not taking the trade, so if they're right, great. If they're wrong, great. Whatever. It's just I don't see any reason to take that trade right now. Honestly, here on the 2-hour chart, I'm not even seeing signs of bearish divergence. Now, of course, there's still 2 days here. Anything can happen, but fact of the matter is, the more time that goes by, and there's not a whole lot of time left, those options premiums are going to dwindle in value, and they're probably going to end up expiring worthless, because if they're $9,000 strikes on a 9/18 expiration, the price has to get down to $9,000 on Friday in order for those things to print. Unless we have a significant move to the downside in the next few hours, hey, you're not gonna make anything with those. So I wouldn't rush into that trade. People are trying to sell the top by getting way out of the money short-term puts. It's not smart. It's not smart. Not anything I would do. Not that I'm your advisor, but I'm just saying that is not a trade that I would be willing to make. It just seems like a surefire way to lose money. So I'm not going to do it. Do I think it's possible for us to get down here to 93.50? Yeah, I do think it's possible. I do not think it's going to happen by Friday. I don't think it's going to get anywhere close by Friday. If it is, yeah, I'll probably be buying down there. But fact of the matter is, I mean, even our algo isn't even signaling a sell at the moment, right? So, the buy was signaled about 10.7, 10.7, 7.15 or so. I mean, that's in good profit. So now we wait. I am interested to see what happens once we hit this red zone right here, because it's possible. Whatever move we are in right now is getting close to finishing. Um, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I just have a hard time seeing us coming all the way down here in the next couple days. Possible that it does happen before the end of the month, but ultimately, it's also possible this was a nice A, B, C, and this move is done, and we are now in a pivot to the upside. And if that's the case, if we are in a pivot to the upside from here, let's see. Um, I'm going to pull up a different chart here. So let me pull this up here. I want to show you something that I had been working on for a while. So let me pull this up here. I think I put it on Bitcoin, US dollar on Coinbase. Pull this out here. Yes, this is it. All right, I'm going to go to a daily so that it's easier to see. A lot going on here, guys. So first off, I apologize. Let me get rid of some of these moving averages just to clean up the chart just a little bit more. This is basically the bear market that I've been kind of tracking for, as you can see, for a long time. I'm going to get rid of some of these guys here just to clean things up a little bit. All right, so what do we have? What do we have? First off, we've got from the top, we've got a nice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the A, and then we've got an A, B, C into the B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete that first move, which I believe was an A. So we've got an A, B, C, you could call it a W, X, Y, whatever you want to call it. This completed a move. It's obvious that this completed a move. Very dominant pivot high, very dominant pivot low. Then what do we have? We've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete an A, B, C to complete the B. Now what do we have? Okay, so we've got 5 waves up, 3 waves down. We should have 5 waves up from here. So what do I have here? I've got a 1, 2, 3. It's a decent compression for wave 4. And then we work on 5 more waves up. So theoretically speaking, that 9,800 should have been the low. Should have been low. So that should have been the low, and that's based off of the fact that I saw a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here, A, B, C into this 2. So we've got a 1, 2. We should be working on the 3 now, which should have more, significantly higher prices. Let me go to a 4-hour time frame. Let's just look at this really close and see. So we've got 1, A, B, C into the 2, 3, steep 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to complete that 1 right there. Then we've got 1, 2, 3 waves down to complete this 2, or an A, B, C, because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It works. It works really well. It works really well that would be the wave 2. Now, what does that look like on a fib retrace? From down here all the way to the top, we came basically to the golden zone, right? Between 99.50 and 10,000, that should have been significant support, and it was. All right, it was. So where should we be going from here? We should be going for higher prices. Now, granted, this is the beginning of wave 3, so we likely are seeing a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we pull back, and I think we're probably going to pull back to 10.4. We're not going to 9 right now, I don't think. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. There's no doubt about that. So we see a 1, 2, a larger wave 3, potentially going to 16, pull back for 4, maybe back to 14. Then we go up for our ultimate target, which is going to be 17.1, 17.2, somewhere in that range. And I think what that completes is our 535 on our wave C. Again, let me go back to a daily and pull this out. Okay, because again, you've got this A right here, A, B, C into the A, 5, 3, 5 into the B. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially getting us up here to anywhere between 16 and 17,000, not getting to all-time high. Pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. We get up there, we may just push through, and this could be completely invalidated. But in the event that it's not, and we do get up to this 887 or this 100% fib extension, potentially coming all the way back down to a new low at 2,700. Very possible if that happens. There's a lot of technical reasons why it could happen. Um, to be quite honest, it is very possible we come all the way back down to $1,750. Now, I'm not telling you guys that we are, but what I am saying is if we get down there, you guys had better be thinking about buying if we get down that low. That would be a generational buying opportunity. Now, you've already had good buying opportunities. We got down here to 3,000. Were you guys confident in buying or were you afraid? We got all the way down here to 3,800. Were you confident or were you afraid? Let me just be full and honest and clear. I was very bearish down here, and that was a mistake. So when we did this, I was not. I was not. I had some incidents that happened on the BitMEX exchange that are very unfortunate, but nonetheless, I'm a bull right now until we get up here. And once we hit this range up here, I'm going to start getting skeptical. I'm thinking that we're probably going to go down because you're going to have a lot of people that are saying, oh, we're going to all-time high, when in fact at that point it's more than likely going to be a phase of distribution. Okay, this was accumulation. That was accumulation. This was definitely distribution, and more likely than not, what we're going to have is we're going to have a quick distribution. This right here also was distribution. This happened very fast. Up and quickly down, up and quickly down even more. Okay, just like over here, up and quickly down, up and quickly down even more. You have to acknowledge and see the signs. We haven't really had anything over here like we had here and like we had up here. We haven't seen that kind of distribution, like serious distribution. We have not seen that. If anything, we've been seeing a lot of accumulation right over here, right? This is more of a compressed view of what we saw back here. Chart doesn't look exactly the same, but it rhymes. It looks very close. Watch what happens when we get up closer. Once we get closer to 16 to 17,000, watch what happens, because if you see something that looks anything like this, where it goes up and down, back up and then down some more, steeper. If you see that, that's distribution, and you should be getting on your short pants. You should be getting out, going to cash, preserving your capital, and at that point we will reevaluate and see what the chart looks like. Okay, so yeah, that was 18 minutes on Bitcoin here. So I did have somebody that asked me to do a video on Bitcoin. So here it is for you. This is what I think is going to happen. I think we will go back down probably to a new low, freak a lot of people out. You're going to have people saying Bitcoin is dead. We're going to be breaking these lows, and people are just going to be panicking at that point, getting rid of their Bitcoin holdings. And you know what? There's going to be lots and lots of people that are just going to be sitting there waiting to fill their bags because they sold up here when everybody is euphoric saying Bitcoin's going for all-time highs. You know what's going to happen? That is when they strike, and that is when you're going to see distribution. You're going to have people programmed in their minds to be buying the dip. And that is why, my friends, that is why you see a pullback, a push up, people buying the dip, and then a push down even more. Buy the dip, it's just how it works. It's just how it works, the psychology of it all. So just be careful. Be careful for this to be pushing up higher and higher, and it probably will go higher and higher, right? I think we'll get a little bit of a pullback, but I think we are going to push up and through this. But once we get up there, be very, very cautious. Once we get anywhere close to 16,000, be cautious, especially if you see a lot of people talking about how bullish the market looks. Okay, guys, that's it for today. If this video did help you in any way, shape, or form, like, subscribe, share all the good stuff. And if you want access to our Discord, just throw a comment in the YouTube chat. I'll be more than happy to get in my code out to you. And of course, wherever you are in the world, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and a good evening. Take care.